What's good, everybody? I want to welcome you to a brand new episode of the Jungle Podcast. I'm your host, Jaron Woodard, and I'm here with you today with some absolute heat. I'll be giving you a quick motivational episode to get you through the rest of the year. I've taken a lot of feedback, and this has been a highly requested episode. And, so when you get a chance to hit that subscribe button for more content like this, go ahead and do that. Before I get the show kicked off, I want to shed some light on the Jungle's first official sponsor, Wealthy Pharaohs Clothing. They did provide me with the shirt, with the little fit I got on today. And they got some dope clothes, man. Wealthy Pharaohs is a clothing lifestyle brand influenced by Egyptian culture. They do their best in keeping us fellow kings and queens dressed as such. Go check them out at wealthypharaohs.com. I do have a discount code for y'all, and I'll share it at the end of the episode. Pray for 2020. It's been a hell of a year. Probably one of the wildest years I've personally endured. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate. While it seems as if the world is ripping away at your patience, at your peace, and at your fears, and most importantly, the world may be ripping away at your peace, let's find a way to finish strong. Let's take our thoughts in a new direction. I'm a firm believer in that tough times create tough people. And in a sense, the way that my mind is wired, this is all a setup. A setup for the better. No matter what has come to the light this year, whether it be racial injustice or political elections or a virus that basically shuts down the world, we were all born to live through this. God gave us the strength to endure hard times and look for the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me put that into perspective. Take a minute and think about all the hardest times you've ever been through. And I mean the toughest times. First things first, they weren't all in 2020, and I want you to realize that you've made it through them to be alive today. And that's life. You go through hard times to get to better times. You grow through things. Understand that you were put on this earth to seize opportunities for growth. The only cap or limit that's placed on that growth is the one that you've placed yourself. Everyone on this earth has a God-given purpose. Everyone on earth can leave an impact on this world if they genuinely set their mind. If we would just take a look in the mirror and evaluate our dreams and passions, the sky's the limit for us. And I want y'all to attack the world every day with the pain that it gives you. Attack your goals every day with passion, with the thirst of being a better version of yourself. Whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing for weeks, months, or even years, do it. How much time are you going to let pass without at least trying, at least giving it a shot? I made an Instagram post asking people what their fears are. The most common answer was the fear of failure. And having the fear of failure to me is exactly the same thing as having the fear to learn. There is no better teacher than fear. Do you really think Michael Jordan went through his whole career, went through his whole life without failing once? What about Serena Williams, LeBron James? Any person that's great, that's a dog in what they do, they failed many times before. Maybe we have not seen it. Maybe they failed to themselves, but they failed. I'm sure of it. They failed in front of people, whatever the case may be. They were never scared to fail because that's how you learn. Start welcoming your losses, because at the end of the day, you know that even though you lost, you grew from it. If you want to live a dream, it's going to take work. It's going to take blood, sweat, and a lot of tears. If you want to live that dream, it's going to take losses. And that's why 2020 has been so rough for some of y'all, because you don't know how to take a loss. 2020 has been rough, but we don't have time to complain and feel sorry for ourselves. We don't have time to cry and complain about what life used to be like. It's time for growth. It's time for a change in your health. It's time for a change in your relationships. It's time for a change in your work ethic. And most importantly, it's time for a change in your mindset, because distracting you from your purpose is exactly what the enemy is here to do. He roams this earth to dilute our thoughts on how things should be. The devil roams this earth to make us believe that there's no peace, to make us fearful of what's to come. He wants us to believe that whatever we do is not enough. One thing about the devil is that without fear, he is powerless. That's why we celebrate every win. That's why we be grateful. Celebrate your small wins. Even your friends, your family, celebrate their wins. I just left my old job that was sucking the life out of me, and I'm here now better than ever. My creativity is on a new level. My drive is on a new level. I'm on completely new vibes, and I should be able to celebrate that, because when you celebrate these wins, we start to become gracious enough to take those losses. When the losses come in, which they will, they'll be a lot easier to swallow. And I say all that to say this: 2020 had its highs and its lows. At the end of the day, we've gone through something every year. But as people, we managed to get through it. That's what we do. Not only is that what we do, that's what we're expected to do. You're expected to have a bad day and come back the next day and continue to grind and chase your dreams. You're expected to fail and try again. You're expected to fall flat on your face, overcome failure, and get back up and push forward. So if you're listening to this podcast, I challenge you. If you had a rough year, if money is tight, if you lost some people, if your faith is slipping, if you got some bad news, you're in a bad relationship, it feels like you're sacrificing too much, I challenge you to attack these obstacles with your all. I challenge you to go full force head on with these tests and watch how you come out of it. Watch the person that you become. Because I'm here to tell you that you are enough to be accepted. What you're selling is good enough for that price. Don't settle to conform to the world. Let the world conform to you. And when I say pray for 2020, it's not because we've been knocked out, but because we've been knocked down and now it's our turn to hit back. Pray for 2020 because after all that has happened, after all the bad, we still here, pushing forward. And that's what gives us the advantage in this fight. There is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance next time. And that's why Malcolm X is one of the greats, because he knew he was about to take a loss. For months on end, all the way up until he was murdered in cold blood. They burned his house to ashes with his family inside. His phones were tapped. The day he died, he knew that at that time he was about to take a loss. He even told his assistant, I don't feel too good about going out today, because he knew his time was up. Through the midst of all this, there was no fear in his heart. So in front of his wife and his kids, he still faced all his adversity. He still faced his enemies and fought for what he believed in. He still went out there and took his loss, knowing that better would come of it. And the lesson in that is, if you really want something with all your heart and soul, sometimes there has to be blood. When a lion battles another lion to lead the pride, blood is always shed. When you keep beating on your dream and beating and beating and beating every single day, that same blood is gonna get shed, and things won't get better until you face those battles. I've noticed a lot of people are ready for the year to be over with. They're so ready for 2021. Well, let me give you a news flash. Things don't magically get better in 2021. You still gonna be dealing with the same drama you dealt with this year. Life is still gonna be hard. People are still gonna die. Hurricanes don't care what year it is. Depression don't care what year it is. Your problem's still gonna attack you. Your anxiety is still gonna attack you. Until your time on this earth is up, we don't wake up. You still have to look across the jungle and see that beast of whatever it is you're going through. And one thing about it, that beast is ready to scrap with you every single day, no matter what. That beast knows your every move. And you have to dig down in a special part of your heart and your will to destroy it. You still got people depending on you. Don't let life wear you down and make you forget your why. The reward for perseverance is peace. Own up to your responsibilities and make your dreams come true. Because at the end of the day, you only get one life. Make the best of it. If not for yourself, for the people that don't have that luxury. I want you to know that it's gonna get hard. It's gonna get harder than what it is now. You're gonna get low, but when you get low and you feel like you don't have no more swings left, when you feel like your heart is empty and your mind is sick, I want you to find the people that are counting on you. When you have a conversation, when you have a genuine conversation with the people that's really in your corner, I guarantee you remember your purpose. I guarantee when you look your mother, father, sister, brother, best friend, whoever it may be in your corner, when you look them in the eyes and you see what they're going through, it will lift you out of the trenches. Because this is a war, and you can't give up on the whole war because a battle didn't go your way. You can't quit the war because you're depressed. Your demons don't care about that. And the most important detail about this war is that the same people that are in your corner are fighting in that same war. Y'all are lined up on the battlefield together. When you take pain, your allies should feel that. When your when your allies experience pain, it should hurt you. You can't quit because you need to have a commitment to your dreams. A lot of people have an emotional attachment to your dreams rather than a commitment. Your emotion changes 1,000 times a day, and your dreams can't afford that. Commitment don't change. Commitment is day in and day out. Commitment is hard work. Commitment is waking up every day and stepping up to your battle. You and your corner versus the world. And at that point, whatever happens, happens, because at the end of the day, I'm living with the fact that I didn't give up. I'm living with the fact that I can wake up tomorrow and fight again. And I want to end this episode and ask you, what battles are you fighting every day? What beast is in the jungle waiting for the moment you wake up? Whatever it may be, fear, depression, anxiety, temptation, it can and will be defeated. You just have to suit up every day with your corner and be prepared for bloodshed. Pray for 2020, because if nothing else gets you through this year, this podcast will. So I ask you to continue to fight with me. I want you in my corner, so when we put that armor on together, when we wake up in the jungle together, we come out on top. Because I'm hurting too. I'm tired of seeing people my age suffer from depression, anxiety, suicide, when we should be living life to the fullest. I want to say this: if there ever is any doubt that creeps in your mind, reach out to somebody. Please get the help that you need, because you meant to be here. Whether you think that or not, you meant to be here. You're here on this earth for a reason. You know, if you need any advice or help with anything, shoot me an email at thejunglepodc@gmail.com. All my other social media will be tuned into the description. I appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you for tuning into the Jungle Podcast. Pray for 2020.